This is not my day job, so I'm a bit unnatural. When I think about my own entrepreneurial sparks, I think it really starts from my father. I remember when my dad was about 35, he wanted to borrow a small loan to start his own accounting business. He got rejected by every single bank, and at that time I felt Hong Kong has one of the highest bank-to-people ratio. We have over 140 banks on a 6 million population. So I grew up with a worldview where a mass market consumer is always underserved. I was then asking myself, now I have all these experience, training. If my father can take that risk when he had nothing, then who am I if I don't do something with what I have? In 2012, I started my first business. It was an e-commerce business that targets children of 0 to 7 years old. It was quite a painful experience overall because I think I really not do very well there. I realized I was 15 or 20 years too late to start an impactful business. I also realized by starting something so easy to copy, it's really not worth it. I remember after we launched, quite shortly, we actually have quite a strong momentum. But what happened was, in 3 weeks' time, another similar website can just pop up. That was the time where I realized, do something with very high entry barrier. I must start another business, which takes at least 6 months for someone else to come in and do something similar in the same market. In 2014, I went on a soul-searching trip to Silicon Valley. I literally just exchanged apartment with one of my friends. I then networked myself through to find a job at a Series A company. There I worked as an enterprise sales for about half a year. I think that experience was really life-changing. I actually was selling software to other startups. I get to visit the offices and teams of some of the very well-known ones like Airbnb, Google, Facebook, and all the way to some super small startups, those in the garage. I thought that wide range of experience has really opened my eyes to entrepreneurship, and I would say I certainly do not regret that episode of my life. So 2016 was the year that we started YouTrip. My co-founder and I actually have met each other since 10 years ago. We also partner up in our first business. One of the turning point of our business, it's really meeting the EasyLink CEO, Nicholas. To me, in business has always been about who you work with, and that is far more important than what we are immediately doing. So when we met Nicholas, it was really a destiny. We told him about our idea. He immediately gets it. He actually told us that he has companies big and small pitching him about a multi-currency prepaid card idea for 2 years. But we are the company, quite unproven at that point, that he actually said yes to. Even today, I think, if people ask me why does EasyLink want to work with you, you guys at that time primarily has a stack of PowerPoint and screenshots, but not any actual product or even a prototype. I actually divert the people to ask EasyLink. I said, why don't you ask them? Because it wasn't that apparent to me why. In 2019, we have closed our pre-Series A round of $25.5 million US dollars. But I would say fundraising, it's truly in a startup journey, it's not the ends. It's only the means. I think with more capital, actually, we have more responsibility to take it forward and to truly deliver on our promise. I have started to see it as a long journey. I have always told my team that this is my last job. If I were to really speak to the next generations of entrepreneurs, from the inside, the person should be level-headed. Not to feel particularly down when things don't go as well, because I see myself as the driver of a car. My job is, no matter what is there to come next, I'm here to steer it forward in a stable, consistent manner. My name is Caecilia Chu. This is my retrospect.